Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Harvey Stadium as we get set for kickoff in the Carson-Newman Women's Soccer home opener. It is the Eagles at 0-1-1 playing host to Young Harris at 0-2. Carson-Newman looking for its first win in a home opener since 2019. I'm Michael Watring. Welcome you in. Come in, stay a while as Carson-Newman in the all-white uniforms will take on a Young Harris group that sports the purple tops and bottoms. Young Harris has lost to a pair of Sac schools, giving up second-half goals to Wingate and Tusculum in the last two meetings. We're just about ready to go here from McCowan Field. Young Harris will get the first touch of the day. Looks like four in the back for Young Harris with a holding defensive mid for Avram Allen's group, his first season at the helm. Our official is Luis Brenes. Everybody getting settled in, fans filing into Harvey Stadium. And we're just about ready for action here on a Wednesday evening. Whistle blows, and we are ready to roll. And it's Young Harris to get the first touches of the day. Carson-Newman will rock the 4-3-3 formation. MJ Park, Alicia Heiniger, Noelle Kreiser, and Abby Zander across the back. Felicia Frick will be the holding defensive mid. Up top in the midfield will be Selena Judd and Maya Binkson. And across the top left to right, it'll be Anita Arndaughter, Addie Henry, and Nellie Brunis for Simon Duffy's group. And this has been a friendly facility for Duffy in his tenure. And we'll see if today is the exact same and this team can get their first win of the season. Last year, these clubs squared off, and it was Young Harris getting the better of Carson-Newman. 2-0 was the final. Eagles outshot the Mountain Lions 18-5, but never could get a goal. Henry trying to shuffle it in. Instead, it gets cleared away by Hannah Boehner. It's a great day for action here. Sun soaking the surface at McCowan Field. Abby Zander stepping forward, one of the team's top goal scorers last year, heads this one into the box. And Haven Isaac picks it up. A Deersville, Georgia native. Coach Allen said before the matchup that she's playing excellent action right now, and a big reason why she's earned the start between the pipes. On the other side, Carson-Newman has three freshmen in the midfield getting the nod for the first time this season, and a freshman keeper in Lauren Jermis. The message really when speaking with both of these coaches was very optimistic. Despite the fact that neither side has won so far, there's a lot of positivity. For Coach Allen, he said that people might look and say 0-2, been a rough start to the year, but he said it's been, quote, a proud 0-2. Likes the way that his team is forming here in the early portions of the year. Simon Duffy on the other side said that perhaps he was scratching his head on Saturday's matchup as to the fact that they couldn't come away with a victory. Thought that the team has played extremely well. A lot of goal-scoring opportunities being presented by the Eagles, but so far hasn't been enough to earn a victory. It looks like here Morgan Kasel maybe twisted something as she was running over towards the sideline. And the clock will stop here about 3 minutes in. And Kasel, a sophomore from Canton, Georgia, will be forced to walk off the pitch. Well, this is a challenging week for Carson-Newman. You get the Peach Belt crew here, and then on Saturday it'll be Nova Southeastern in town. Nova will be playing at King tomorrow, Simon Duffy's former program. So Kasel injured. Emma Hodges is the one replacing Kasel in the lineup in that left back position. Here go the Eagles, however. Bingson has it taken off of her feet. And now a long ball sent through the middle of the defensive back line for the Eagles. No Yenta Cooper in the starting 11 for Simon Duffy's group. Does expect to have her back and on the field. Advantage played as Henry chops it forward. That's a beautiful run on that side by Arndottir. Flies it into the middle, and Bingson's shot gets rejected. That was very good from Carson-Newman and been one of the big keys for this team, creating some space. And we have our first corner of the match here in the 4th minute. Now, speaking with Coach Duffy before this matchup as well, talked about the relationships being built. Feels like at this point has a variety of scoring options. Could have some players step into more key roles as the year goes through. Corner kick taken towards the top of the 6, and it's headed straight to the ground by Henry and wide. Well, the Eagles returned a good chunk of their goal-scoring pop from a year ago. Henry had 4 of them. Is she going to take a next step forward? Right at the top of this 4-3-3 attacking formation that Simon Duffy employs. It's a Carson-Newman side that has no problems getting shot attempts. 7 times in the last 10 matches, at least 20 shots. Abby Zander sliding in front of the running play by Ellerby that time around. And that is great development and growth for Zander, who played in the midfield and towards the top of the formation last year. And now playing in that right back position. You see that frequently at the collegiate level. A former attacking player moving to the back line. And there's a beautiful throw by Zander as well. Great vision to find Bingson. Bingson takes aim. It's a heavy ricochet. Henry, though, late to get to it. And Haven Isaac stymies that opportunity. Well, speaking with Coach Duffy, he mentioned on Saturday that was the Ohio Dominican 1-1 draw. Team was up 1-0. Had an opportunity. Saw Selena Judd hit not just one post, but 2 posts. Hit the right bar, rolled across the chalk, hit the left bar, and sent about 30 seconds to a minute later. And that's when Ohio Dominican put in its goal. And it's been that kind of start to the campaign. Judd sliding it forward. Brunis pops it into the air. Wins possession, wanted a foul. Advantage will be played as Henry was looking back for Brunis. And there will be a foul whistled against Brunis. Taya Jewell playing that defensive midfield look. Well, the crowd will continue to file in here to Harvey Stadium. Looks like some of the baseball team is making their way over. It is earlier in the day at about 5 o'clock, meaning a lot of the teams are still practicing, and the Carson-Newman football team opening tomorrow just left to head to West Georgia to begin the season against the top 10 foe. Well, a foul is whistled on Young Harris. 7th minute, no score. Carson-Newman and Young Harris. The last time that Carson-Newman won a home opener was 2019, and that was against this Young Harris group. A 3-1 victory in that one. Michaela Gardner bagged a brace, and Lara Hallgrim's daughter added 1 as well in that match. Judd looking to go 1v1 here. That's a nifty bit of defending by Jewell. Can Young Harris find that counter-attacking presence? Pass was looking for Einsbohr, and it's played well by Noelle Kreiser. Speaking with Simon Duffy, he said that Kreiser has really taken a nice step forward in the last few weeks. Was just outside of bagging a starting 11 spot, but she stepped in and has a real knack in the back line. And a reason why she gets the start here today. Kreiser, the junior from Massachusetts. Another throw coming here for the Mountain Lions. That's a busy day of activity in the South Atlantic Conference. Carson-Newman preseason number 3, and how about what Catawba is doing to start the year? 3-0, including a win over Tampa. 13 goals already this season. It'll be a fun clash once conference play starts, and that is nearing. I have 10 days until that happens. Carson-Newman travels to Anderson on a Saturday to start off the season. Free kick coming. Alicia Mulvaney, the junior from England, transferred over from Iowa Central Community College. Will stand over the top of this one and now gets joined by Maya Kramer, a rookie from Marietta, Georgia. Who's the one that takes it? Everybody's running around still. A lot of movement along that back post. And it will be played low. Eagles answer right to it. Bingson. It's a hefty touch and then flown back into the box. Jermis will pick it up. Flag was down. Ellerby running into the box. Jermis handles it well. 10th minute. Scoreless so far. It's a nice ball forward for Henry, despite the pressure. Park giving chase. Good high press from the Eagles. Eventually wins. A throw in here. Everybody will join the attack now. Felicia Frick. Judd with a hefty touch. Can't hold on to possession. A lot of pressure through the midfield eventually leads to a giveaway. Henry, a good spin. Excellent ball forward, Brunis. Brunis back for Henry. Henry with options. Rejected shot attempt. Jewell clears to the sideline. Einsbohr. Einsbohr is a freshman from Denmark. One of the players that Avram Allen told us before the match, somebody to keep an eye on for her growth throughout her career. Henry will give chase. Emma Hodges, who replaced Kasel in the lineup after Kasel was injured early in this match, was able to walk off under her own power, but might have gotten stuck in the grass here. Kreiser will just play this one out. A couple times where Young Harris has been able to find an odd attack. Eagles have been able to find the response. Hodges will charge down the field. Take this throw. That one's sent out of play without any touches. Well, Carson-Newman has won 6 in a row here on its home pitch. 11th longest string currently in Division II. Second to Columbus State in terms of teams from the Southeast. Long line of matchups between those two programs. Of course, the Cougars have been amongst the class over the last decade plus. They've won 8 in a row on their home field. Campbell thinking. Rare possession here for the team in purple. Ellerby. Perhaps a thought of a shot, but didn't get a lot on it. Frick. Ball flown forward. Arndaughter unable to get to it in time. Which of these two teams can come away with a victory to start this season? Xander was making that overlapping run along the side, but Judd couldn't hold on to it. It's good work here by Einsbohr. An even better hustle by Preston to keep it in. Ellerby drawing attention. Jewell. Park with an interception, doesn't get a lot on it. And now a long distance shot that'll be gobbled up by Jermis. Maya Kramer took it from well outside of the box. Carson-Newman and Young Harris meeting for the 6th meeting. Carson-Newman has won both matches that have taken place here at Mossy Creek and lead 3-2 all time. And a foul whistled. Free kick here for Carson-Newman. Eagles falling 2-0 to Cedarville in that opening matchup of the year, and then a 1-1 draw to Ohio Dominican on Saturday. Kreiser will lay this one back. Jermis. How does Carson-Newman build its attack? Out of the back. Have had some dangerous opportunities to begin this. And here's the giveaway. Mulvaney wants it back, instead a long distance shot, always wide. Tess Preston, the freshman from Social Circle, Georgia. And we will get a change as Kasel, who was injured in the first few moments, 15th minute of play here, no score. Carson-Newman and Young Harris. Michael Watring and our entire crew watching this one with you. Throw in here for Young Harris. Well, Avram Allen named the coach on February 9th. Prior to that was in the NPSL, professional soccer, similar to USL League 2, led Atletico Lanier of the NPSL to the semifinals of the conference. And he said one of the biggest differences in coaching is just the overall level. Here's a hefty touch that will be cleared away. When you're at that level, you get a lot of all-conference and all-region style performers, even some players with professional experience. Here trying to find that overall depth, a little bit more of a challenge. Feels like his team is going to get close to what he wants his team to look like, a high tempo. Try to force the opponent to match the high energy. Handball whistled. That was on Tess Preston and Carson-Newman. We'll get the restart. Coach Allen began his playing days at Young Harris, was the captain of the 2006 team. Coached at North Georgia for 7 years. Now getting a head coaching job here at Young Harris. Flag is up. I'm not sure if it's offside or a foul. They do call it offside. At least the way that the flag initially was raised. Wasn't sure whether or not they were indicating a foul or offside. 18th minute. Scoreless so far here at Harvey Stadium. The second half has been the issue for Young Harris this year. That's where all the goals that they've conceded have come. Led 1-0 against Tusculum and then gave up 2 goals in the span of 12 minutes in the second half. And that proved to be decisive. This kick gets lofted. It's a very good first touch, but Carson-Newman's able to get a piece of it. Brunis, though, the last to touch it.
Second ball. That's the difference.
That's a good drive here in the middle. Heiniger, Henry. This is well built. The pass, though, for Brunis, deflected. Flag up here for offside. Ellerby in an offside position. Well, scores from around the league so far. About Mount Olive against Lincoln Memorial. That is a 4-1 Mount Olive lead at the end of a half of action. A couple goals already from Emily Hine in that contest. Game just starting in the 19th minute. Limestone taking on Belmont Abbey on the road. That is a 0-0 tally. Likewise with Shorter and Anderson so far on a busy night of action. It's a good press by the Eagles. No foul whistle. Selena Judd was inside of the box. She was looking perhaps for a little bit of help from Luis Brenes. Carson-Newman, the only 3 shots so far in the match. 20th minute, no score. Young Harris has had some possession in the midfield. And now here's a really good run from Kasel. Look at Abby Zander, though, and that pace. She wins the ball and clears it away. That is the growth and maturity of Abby Zander, Bainbury, Tennessee native. Worked all the way inside of the box after perhaps being a few yards behind. And now this is a delightful run from Ellerby. Wide left, though. Now that was really well set up. And if Ellerby puts that on frame, likely it's an opening goal. Wide left on that shot attempt. Well, that's been part of the issue that Carson-Newman has run into on a few occasions this year. Seemingly out of nowhere, conceding a good opportunity. Very good turn here from Judd with a pass given away. And then a foul whistled. Taya Jewell draws the reaction of the Carson-Newman baseball team. Quickly taken as well. And there is space on that left-hand side. Anita Arndottir. Flag up, offside. Carson-Newman's last loss at home, September 25th of last year. That was against Catawba. Since that point, they've trailed for a total of 26 minutes. That was in that contest against Tusculum. The eventual game winner came from Yenta Cooper in the 85th minute. The Eagles have not trailed since that point. That was a few days after that Catawba loss on September 29th. Trying to take care of business here at home and get the first win of the year, but no score so far here in the 23rd minute. Eagles whistled for the foul. Young Harris does feel like they've gotten into this match. Here's the ball skied. Nobody in particular in purple to pick out. Arndottir whiffs. And it does end up working out for the Eagles, however. That talented midfield trio that Carson-Newman can employ. Let's see, is it a foul or is it a throw? Well, certainly the Carson-Newman baseball team making their presence felt. And now we will get a hydration break here with exactly 22 minutes to go in the first half. So we'll step out for a quick breather as well. Hydration break here, 22 minutes to go in the first half. No score between Carson-Newman and Young Harris. Stick with us. More Carson-Newman soccer coming up here in a moment on the Eagle Sports Network. Teams finishing up their hydration break here midway through the first half. As Carson-Newman looks to get in the win column. After dropping last year's meeting between these clubs, Eagles outshot Young Harris 18-5, but lost 2-0. Best chance of the match coming moments ago on Ellerby's whistle from just outside of the 18. Can Carson-Newman break through here as Henry, flag staying down this time around. Henry eludes the keeper. There is an open net as she throws this in. And now we get a whistle. Well, the flag was down, and then they brought it up there at the last moment. And Carson-Newman will make a couple changes. Karina Voost and Savannah Fields are in. A couple changes for Simon Duffy's unit. Always important to have that depth, particularly in the early portion of the season. Young Harris had to make one change, but that was out of necessity after an injury. Carson-Newman making its first changes of this match. Ellerby was the target of that pass. She'll let that one sail all the way down. Lauren Jermis, freshman from the Netherlands. Carson-Newman on the younger side after being such an experienced roster under Coach Simon Duffy during his first several years of his tenure. This is very good passing. There's a lot of options in the middle. Eagles a little late to get back, and then there is a nifty move. Once again eluding Heiniger. Young Harris going in the wrong direction. Fields waits. Zander making the run. Abby Zander cannot get enough of a touch to elude a defender. Does leave the team a bit exposed for a moment. Great recovery speed, though, by Zander. And it goes out for a throw. One of the biggest keys that Oliver Mallon saw from his group was a high work rate and composed and tactical pressure. And that's been the case so far here in the first 26 minutes. Simon Duffy, conversely, said his biggest takeaway from the first two matches was that his group is very talented and optimistic at the potential. Madison Knight enters and replaces Einsbohr for Young Harris. Overall, the thoughts was very optimistic from both coaches. Goal kick coming for the Eagles. And you just wonder which team will figure it out sooner. Both teams could have a lot to say within their respective conferences. Carson-Newman preseason third in the South Atlantic Conference. 7th was the preseason pick for Young Harris, a team that hasn't been to the Peach Belt Conference tournament since 2019. Zander again making the overlapping run. Instead, Brunis will take it forward. Fields. There's some space on that side, but the flag up. Voost offside. Well, that opened up very nicely for the Eagles. And if the junior from Germany could have held her line for just a moment longer, that was going to be a great opportunity. A lot of the balls in the midfield have been won by Carson-Newman. And the attack has been good. The passing's been solid as well. Pass intended for Brunis, intercepted. Abby Zander has her pass redirect back to her. Now Brunis carries it along. Bingson gets bumped, and a foul is whistled. Young Harris not too happy with the call. But a little bit of a bump from Alicia Mulvaney warrants a restart for the Eagles. 28th minute. We're scoreless so far in the 6th all-time clash. Fields was probing around the ball, but a lot of purple jerseys to get through as it eventually bounces into the hands of Isaac. Isaac punts it forward. Some of the players having to shield their eyes. The advantage seemingly would go to Carson-Newman in the second half with where the sun will be at that point. Abby Zander gets taken out and a foul is whistled against Young Harris, and you have to be impressed by the recovery pace of Abby Zander so far. There have been a few times where she hasn't even been in the picture on some of those runs by the Mountain Lions, but has recovered in time. Knight, Ellerby flies it in. It's a nice run, but Park with an interception. And then Fields steps on the ball. Ellerby loses it. Zander waits. Just flings it forward, and Isaac will wait for it. We're in the 30th minute. We're scoreless so far. Best chance came from Young Harris in the 21st minute when Ellerby found some empty space, but twisted a shot wide left. Overall, though, Carson-Newman getting the majority of the scoring chances so far in this one. For our entire crew here on the Eagle Sports Network, I'm Michael Watring, bringing you this broadcast, and delighted to have you along for the ride. Things starting to get busy in the Mossy Creek Sports Circle. Football, American football season starts tomorrow. 4 more volleyball matches this weekend for a Carson-Newman team that came back from a 2-0 deficit for the first time in 6 years yesterday. Men's soccer in action as well right now. Abby Zander fires it in. Henry, a touch. Brunis has it blocked out in a second corner of the night. Coming for the Eagles. Well, patience there by Carson-Newman. And Carson-Newman will bring in a sub. Molly Zander and Yenta Cooper are coming in. Cooper's got the captain's armband on. Noelle Kreiser's coming out, as well as Maya Bingson. So a corner kick coming up. Felicia Frick, member of the Liechtenstein national team, passes it in. Frick decided to take the corner short, and it leads to a throw-in. And Abby Zander will hustle down the field to take this as the Eagles will reset their shape. And with Yenta Cooper onto the pitch, you wonder if going short that time around was the better of the options. Cooper a good target inside. Nearly 6 feet tall. Oh, that's a well-weighted pass outside for Voost. Cheeky pass attempt is intercepted and flung down the field. Jermis hasn't had to do a lot. She said good presence in and around the net. And that was one of the keys that Simon Duffy's seen from the rookie keeper. Flag stays down this time around. Brunis tracks onto it. Brunis waits, goes 1v1. Nellie Brunis to the middle, waiting for it. Zander hits it high. Molly Zander was inside of the area. It was a delightful pass from Brunis. Just goes high. Well, that was a really good ball, and an even better run there from Molly Zander. Just couldn't quite stay on top of it, keep it down and on target. Throw in for the Eagles. 33rd minute, no score. Chances getting increasingly juicier. Do either of these teams have an opening goal in the first 45 minutes? Zander was the target of that pass, gets intercepted. Knight now for Young Harris. There's all this room for Ellerby on this side, but pass is not timely. Before it comes out for Kasel. And it is last touched by Young Harris, and a throw for Carson-Newman. Zander takes it quickly. Henry. Haven't been as many touches for Addie Henry in the first half, as I'm sure that Carson-Newman would like from the striker. But you can see from the opening 30-plus minutes why both coaches are optimistic about their sides. Passing has been crisp. Runs have been stout. And here's another one from Voost. The keeper is out. Voost trying to keep on to it. And it's a delightful slide stop by Isaac. Well, for a moment there, it looked like Voost was going to be able to make that run past Isaac, but Haven able to make a clean stop. Molly Buckowitz and Sadie Martinson replace Henry and Brunis. And Simon Duffy giving a new look to the top three in this 4-3-3 formation. 35th minute. Well, the high volume of shots necessarily hasn't been there for Carson-Newman, like you may expect. Quality chances starting to grow, however. Carson-Newman's passing has been very accurate. Fields holding on to it. This is exactly what you want if you're Simon Duffy. Long durations of possession. Advantage is played here. Voost trying to fly it in. It takes a redirect. And Isaac gets to it before Buckowitz was able to get to it. Less than 10 minutes to go in the first half. Xander with a good pass forward. She's making that overlapping run. Instead, the Eagles will go to the middle of the yard. Fields. Molly Xander again. Hits it first time and slices it wide left. Well, you like the aggressiveness by the rookie. Couple changes coming here for Young Harris. Ren Whitley and Cecily Peterson. Changes Brenneman and Jewell coming out. "37th minute, scoreless. And this all-time matchup has featured some good high-scoring affairs. The winner has needed at least multiple goals in all but one matchup. And we've had at least a goal for each side in two of the last three. Xander has this ball go over her head. Whitley has it for just a moment before Abby Xander again steps up, intercepts. Whitley takes it right back. Knight the target. Knight continues along her run. And it's Heiniger clearing it forward. Ellerby gets the last touch. Throw in for Carson-Newman. Well, I asked Simon Duffy about the fact that there is no overtime in the regular season this year, how that impacts things, and he said that maybe it doesn't impact it as much. Jermis comes out to pick it up. Knight might have been in an offside slot, but Jermis does grab it. Definitely affects perhaps the latter stages of the game maybe a little bit more at the end of it all, but we've seen from both coaches here in this first half the willingness to make substitutions early in the first. There are very few starters still on the pitch for Carson-Newman. I think it's just four. Frick, Abby Xander, Alicia Heiniger, and MJ Park, three of the back four. Or back five, I guess, technically, with Frick playing that holding defensive mid. 39th minute. And a foul whistled against Carson-Newman then allows Young Harris to restart action. Young Harris, one goal so far this season. Carson-Newman likewise with one. Yenta Cooper doesn't get the header right. Xander flicks it into the air and clears. Abby Xander's had a heck of an opening 45 minutes. She's covered a ton of ground. One sideline to one sideline. An 18-yard box to 18-yard box. Yenta Cooper. Well, this might lead to a good counterattacking option here. Eagles have runners in the middle of the yard. Well, it's a nice touch out wide for Voost. And was looking for Molly Xander. Just couldn't quite get it over in that direction. A switch of field, unable to latch up. Kasel. Buckowitz takes it off of her feet. Molly Xander. Xander continues on her run, and she's the last one to touch it, and a goal kick coming with less than 5 minutes to go in the opening half. Foul whistled against Knight in the middle of the field. Frick gets taken out. Eagles with a quick restart. Buckowitz. Isaac snares it. 41st minute. Carson-Newman and Young Harris scoreless so far. And there really haven't been as many chances to get excited about as you might expect. At one point, Carson-Newman was out shooting this group 3-0. Off the restart here, it's pedaled towards Cooper that gets a ricochet at it. Right now it's 8-3 in terms of shots. 2 on frame for Carson-Newman, 1 for Young Harris. Voost making the run, flying down the sideline. Trying to get it to the middle for waiting Martinson, and it does get cleared away. Was it a late strike by Simon Duffy's group? Martinson making that move inside of the box, trying to carry along 2 defenders. And Young Harris is able to get to it in time. Abby Zander again steps up and deflects it out. All scores from around the league. Mount Olive has added 1. LMU has added 1, so it's 5-2. In favor of Mount Olive. Limestone is on the scoreboard. Freya Jones has scored for the Saints. Anderson has bagged a couple goals in the first half. 1 from Bethany Anderson and 1 from Cameron Woods. Into the final couple minutes of action here. Abby Zander looking up the field here with this toss. And it's last touched by Kasel. Voost is making this run, but Isaac will come out and over to ensure that Carson-Newman will not have a crack at it. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Well, it's a good slide tackle, and Abby Zander takes advantage. Now MJ Park retreats in the final 90 seconds. Well, if we're going to get something here in the first half, it's going to be right around the buzzer. Carson-Newman will take its time, throw it up the field. They'd like to get one more crack at net. Instead, it's taken away. Final minute here of the opening half.
1 minute remaining.
Jermis plays it through the middle of the field, and Cooper keeping an eye on the clock as we hit 45 seconds to go. Cooper launches it. Ellerby, who's now moved to a defensive position after she started as the team's attacker. Flag is up for offside. Knight a tad ambitious. Under a half a minute to go. "15 seconds left. Is there one more build-up? They got to go quickly now. Molly Zander out wide. And this will be cleared to the sideline. And likely that's how the opening half will come to a close. Well, Carson-Newman had some good opportunities. Each side had a good look at frame inside of the box, but neither side is able to hit the chords in the opening 45 minutes. And at halftime here at Harvey Stadium, Carson-Newman and Young Harris tied at 0. We'll step out for a break. Second half action right around the corner as Carson-Newman and Young Harris deadlocked at 0. Stick with us. Do one of these sides have a thrilling goal in the second half to provide a potential winner. We'll find out together when we come back. 0-0 at the break between Carson-Newman and Young Harris here on the Eagle Sports Network. We welcome you back to Harvey Stadium as Carson-Newman and Young Harris get ready to start off half number 2. And we find out whether or not these two teams can get a goal. Second half has been a problem for Young Harris in the first 2 matches this year, conceding 3 goals, all the goals that they've allowed so far, as Carson-Newman will get possession to start off the second half. 8 shots to 3 was the favor for Carson-Newman in the opening 45 minutes, and it looks like the starters are back on the pitch for Carson-Newman here in this second half. Likewise for Young Harris, with the exception of Cecily Peterson. Well, the pass here from Arndaughter gets intercepted and rolls all the way back to Jermis. Well, in that opening half, there was only 3 saves required, 2 by Isaac of Young Harris and 1 by Jermis. And one of those shot attempts really left a lasting impression. Jermis waits for it. Well, remember the new rule this year, there will be no overtime. So draws are fully possible after 90 minutes. The only question is, how will that impact teams throughout the year? And that's certainly something for Carson-Newman under Coach Simon Duffy. 8 wins, 1 loss, 7 draws. So half the time they came away with the 3 valuable points instead of just the 1 after being tied going into overtime. And in the postseason this year, they made the change. No more golden goal. So you play the 20 minutes of added time, regardless of how many goals are scored in the second half. Park takes a running throw forward. Addie Henry was getting towards it. Instead, Cassidy Campbell plays it out. Carson-Newman playing with a good intensity here to start off the second half through 2 minutes. Well, this throw will go to Young Harris. Carson-Newman, a high volume of shots, averaging 19 per match through the first two. Only one goal to show for it, ending in a 1-1 draw against Ohio Dominican.
Focus. Look at all the room to the keep.
Last 2 years for Carson-Newman, it has been some devastating moments that have cost them wins in their home openers. Last year, a 3-3 draw against North Georgia. After the Eagles scored first on a Nelly Brunis goal in the 11th minute, North Georgia scored 3 straight to end the first half, and the Eagles were behind 3-1. Fortunately for Carson-Newman, Michaela Gardner and Emily Futrell scored to even the tally. But that little surge there cost them 3 points, and then in 2020, that spring season, because of COVID, Carson-Newman scored first on Abby Zander's goal in the 15th minute. LMU struck in the 62nd, and then with 24 seconds to go in double overtime, they gave up the game winner and lost 2-1. The Eagles looking for their first win in a home opener since the 2019 campaign. And they've dominated at home under Simon Duffy, a goal differential of plus 69. And they've won each of their last 6 on the home pitch. This ball toe poked forward. Isaac controls. Arndaughter was making the run. For Young Harris on the other side, they haven't had a winning season since 2017. That year they won 9 of the 16 matches that they played. Finished the spring year of 2021 4-4. That was a 500 mark. The only time that they've been 500 in that stretch. It was a great start to the 2021 campaign. Won the first 2 and 3 of the first 4. But they closed the year just 2-7. That proved to be the Peach Belt Conference record as well. And that kept them out of the conference tournament for a second consecutive season. And a team that's picked 7th in the preseason poll is looking to get a win on the road against Carson-Newman. And so far, neither of these two sides have been able to find that game-changing moment. Carson-Newman, 3 freshmen starting in the midfield and a freshman keeper. While Young Harris has a variety of ages, but a lot of underclassmen in the starting 11 for first-year coach Avram Allen. Brunis cannot get there in time to rescue the ball.
Know what you're going to do, Victoria. Know what you're going to do. Second.
Yenta Cooper was trying to get that ball forward. Instead, Abby Zander comes back to get it, and a foul will be whistled. And I think we might get more than that as well. Zander going to the ground. And I think we might get a booking here, or at least a conversation with Cicely Peterson, the sophomore from Denmark. And now a card is shown. So that'll be the first yellow card of the match for either side as Peterson picks it up here in the 52nd minute. So Peterson goes in the book. It's been a well officiated game here at McCowan Field.
Pick up the second. Pick up the second.
flag up here for offside. Einsbohr, ambitious in her movement. Xander plays quickly. That's a very good pass through the middle of the yard. Judd looking for Henry. Henry was being squeezed by the two central defenders. Isaac has been aggressive on her line, coming outside of the 6-yard box on numerous occasions. MJ Park. It's a good pirouette, and Jermis will get an opportunity to recycle. 53rd minute. Scoreless so far here at McCowan Field. Addie Henry has had some possession at times, but perhaps not enough. In Simon Duffy's eyes. Well, it's good runs coming here, and Henry with options to pick from. She likes to go to the middle of the field and hold it up. Waits for reinforcements. Frick making decisions, playing it out to Judd. Now this ball pushed into the box. It's chested to the ground by Brunis. Now an opportunity from outside of the box, and Carson-Newman scores. Maya Binkson lights the lamp first, and in the 53rd minute, the Eagles take a 1-0 lead. How about that moment by the freshman from Sweden? Well, it all started with a seeking pass across that Brunis couldn't touch down. Clean enough to take a chance. She left it to Binkson, and she was able to finish it. A very decisive finish with the left foot. And Carson-Newman has opened the scoring. And under Simon Duffy, that typically proves to be a difference maker when scoring the first goal. 32-2-3 under Duffy. And Carson-Newman gets the opening goal. Well, that was one of the things that Simon Duffy was excited about for this match, starting 3 freshmen in the midfield. Having this combination work out. Now Judd tried to get it to the ground. Instead, Henry flies it forward. Brunis making a good run. Nellie Brunis chipping the keeper, but it is wide right. That was nearly a nifty finish from Brunis. And now the opportunities starting to flow. Can the Eagles bust down the dam and add more to this? '55th minute, a ton of time left. But the Eagles have opened the scoring, looking for a 7th consecutive win at home. Entered the year 11th longest home winning streak in the nation. Henry, great hold-up play. Fires it through. Isaac getting peppered now by shot attempts from near and far. Well, Simon Duffy circled a couple challenges for his team. Number 1, get a clean sheet. He wanted more of those from this year's team. Number 2 was multiple goals in this match. Halfway home to that tally with a 1-0 lead off of Binkson's strike. First career goal for the freshman. Now can the defense hold up? Yenta Cooper getting the start in the second half. Bodies bouncing off of each other. Abby Xander couldn't hold it up. And the pass will come all the way wide. And MJ Park, scrappy pace to get to it. Park Henry. Henry with a good turn. Can't discard one defender, now does so. Addie Henry stopping, starting. Crossing it, Abby Zander. A reinforcement. Pushes this ball in, it's over Henry. And it does go out, but it's not a goal kick. Instead, it's a throw for Young Harris, and the high press can continue here for Carson-Newman. Brenneman trying to get it all the way up the field. It does get intercepted by Park. Stays in play. And now a knuckling pass. Won't have a purple jersey in mind. Abby Zander will go all the way back to collect it, and there is no pressure whatsoever by the Mountain Lions. Here in the 57th minute. Good width. The Eagles attack. There's a lot of space over here for Arndottir. If Carson-Newman can switch fields. Instead, it's Henry. Frick elects to stay on that right sideline. Bingson was trying to make that switch. That one's out of play. Carson-Newman wants to go quickly off of the throw. Henry. Park. It's a well-weighted ball forward for Arndottir. Arndottir. Eagles might have made an argument for a handball there. Instead, it redirects out for a third corner of the match for Carson-Newman here in the 58th minute. Let's see what Carson-Newman does here. Yenta Cooper will join the party inside of the box. 1-0 Eagles. Bingson. Perhaps a little bit of a stunner of a goal for Young Harris to swallow. This ball pounded towards the back post. It's headed to the ground. Loose inside of the box. Shuffled in. Cooper had a chance. Runs into a teammate. Still loose. No foul, no handball. And Young Harris comes away by clearing the area. Brunis. Going to the touchline. Brunis through the middle. And another throw coming up. A plethora of opportunities. An initial header. A couple redirects. Cooper running into a teammate. Inches away, perhaps, from adding to the margin. Park takes the toss. Henry goes down. Cooper will wait for it. And it is Einsbohr. Well, numbers now getting forward for Young Harris, but Cooper harassing Einsbohr. And it forces a giveaway. Arndottir making a run. The pass comes. It gets deflected. Arndottir runs into a defender. One extra heavy touch. She goes down. If she takes that initial shot opportunity, perhaps she has a chance to make it 2-0. Instead, it's Young Harris outletting. Action picking up here. Ren Whitley. Frick defending. She goes to the surface. And very good defending. Advantage will be played as Henry leaves it on the right-hand side for Bingson. Flag will go up here for offside. We've played an hour here at Harvey Stadium. Michael Watchering and our entire crew delighted to have you along for this matchup. 30 more minutes to go. Carson-Newman opening the scoring in the 53rd minute. As Maya Bingson rippled the rope from just outside of the 18-yard box with a left-footed attempt. And Carson-Newman holding this 1-0 advantage, looking for its first win of the year. A little conversation between Luis Brenes and Carson-Newman and its captain, Yenta Cooper. And play will restart here off of this kick from Benner. And there is a foul whistled against Carson-Newman. Ellerby pushed in the back. Well, this is a pretty good position to set up a free kick here for Young Harris. The Mountain Lions deciding who's going to take it. Cassidy Campbell was initially walking over in that direction. Instead, Maya Kramer, a freshman from Marietta, Georgia.
All right, hey, we only need one now. MJ off. They only have one over the ball.
One person will make up the wall for Carson-Newman here, and Selena Judd. Jermis will wait along the touchline. And now here comes the kick in from Jewell. Always wide. Jermis, no issues there. Watches it out, and changes will be made as Buckowitz replaces Arndaughter for Carson-Newman. And Whitley is coming out for Mulvaney for Young Harris. Here in the 62nd minute, Carson-Newman leads 1-0. Can they play add-on here in half number 2? Opportunities have started to increase. And I'm sure for Simon Duffy, a second goal would certainly be a solid antidote to ease some of this pressure. Fine move by Jewell, not once but twice. Jewell thinking, testing Jermis, and it hits the top of the net. And that is a fortuitous play. I think Jermis had it covered, but nevertheless, a pretty good chance by Jewell.
Billy, Selena, better. Come on.
Well, here's a poor giveaway. Ellerby takes it. Carson-Newman fortunate, though. Buckowitz takes turns. Was looking for Henry. Does get intercepted and rolls all the way back inside of the 18. How does Young Harris make this response?
Love it, Addy. That's when they get the ball back. Well done, Addy. On board, Victoria. Go now. Go now.
One of the biggest messages for his team this year from Avram Allen was to ensure that teams wouldn't look at Young Harris and think that you can just run through it. Buckowitz. It's a good save by Isaac. Buckowitz was in a fine spot.
Next one. Yes, well done. Next one. They got the second. You got the next one. Come on.
Now you do feel as if Carson-Newman has a second one brewing. The question is, can it be manifested here in this second half? Can the Eagles see this one out as well over the final 26 minutes? In the middle of the box, might have clipped a arm there. And now it does get last touch by Young Harris, and a throw for Carson-Newman. Eagles now plus 70 under Simon Duffy at home in terms of goal differential. 32 wins in 44 tries, including this matchup. Can they close it out? That's a delightful ball. Brunis wins a corner. Spectacular ball forward. Great run from Brunis. And a corner kick coming up. The last time the Eagles had a corner, there was a lot of activity inside of the 18. Here in the 65th minute, another opportunity with Brunis ready to take it. Brunis out swinging ball deep towards the back post. Frick flashes it in. Cooper lays it back. Ellerby can't hold on to it. Bodies take a tumble. Foul whistled against Young Harris. And a free kick coming up for Carson-Newman. And this might be an opportunity to take aim at the frame. Well, Addie Henry is going to be on top of this ball. Felicia Frick is there as well. For right now, looks like it'll be a two-person wall, and Luis Brenes will set up the shaving cream. Walk it off 10 yards just inside of the 18. 4 players will consist of the wall for the Mountain Lions. Bingston, who already has a goal. Henry and Frick all around it. Haven Isaac will be tested. Make sure that her wall is in position. Resets the 3 players. And it will be Henry leaving it off. Frick plays it in and hits the crossbar. Still loose. Chipped into the air by Buckowitz. Punched to the ground. And it's cleared outside of the 18. Well, Frick had an opportunity. And yet again, the Eagles knocking on the doorstep. This ball will come loose. Brunis throws it in. Henry mishits it, still loose. Henry, Addie Henry high. How about that last sequence? First, it was Frick, perhaps on a pass attempt that ends up hitting the crossbar. And then a chance inside of the 18. Henry hitting it high. And now here in the 68th minute, with opportunities increasing, we get a whistle here to stop play with an injured player. You really have to wonder what it's going to take for Carson-Newman to break through for a second time. And add to this, we'll get a hydration break here with 22 plus minutes to go. So we'll step out for one as well. Carson-Newman 1, Young Harris 0, 68th minute. Can the Eagles close this one up and add to a 1-0 advantage? Or does Young Harris have an equalizer in him? We find out when we return. 1-0 Eagles here on the Eagle Sports Network. Carson-Newman leads 14-6 on shots. Now, that doesn't tell the entire story. In the last 10 minutes, Carson-Newman has had oodles of chances. And after the restart here of the hydration break, Carson-Newman leading at 1-0. Does that thwart the momentum that the Eagles have built up? Or does that just give the Eagles a refresher and a chance to hone in on some of these chances that eventually finish? Henry spinning around, finding some real estate, was looking for Bingson. Instead intercepted. Buckowitz was applying the pressure. Xander gets hit there, gets taken out, and because that was a shot towards the head, that means that they will stop play right on the moment there to ensure that Abby Xander is all right. Of course, with head injuries, there's no messing around with those. As soon as there is a moment like that, it's an immediate stoppage. We're here in the 69th minute. Carson-Newman won thanks to a goal from Bingson in the 53rd minute. Shots continue to increase for Carson-Newman as well. 20 plus in 7 of the last 10. And because of the injury to Abby Xander, there's two options for Simon Duffy. Either you can play a player down for a few moments and allow the official to push her back in, or you can make the change, and that's what Simon Duffy elects to do, bringing in Savannah Fields out of Science Hill High School in Johnson City. Well, Carson-Newman men's soccer has been playing a man down since the 41st minute against Young Harris, but there's still no score in that matchup. Should anything change, we'll keep you updated. Buckowitz with a good takeaway. Henry unable to get to it in time. And a throw in here quickly taken. Henry leaves it for Buckowitz. Flies it into the box. Bingson lets it fly by. Brunis was wide open, and she hits it into the seats. How many times can Carson-Newman get a great opportunity and be unable to put it away? Well, that hurt them at the end of this all.
That's a free ball. Emily, hey, you gotta jump. Hannah, that's a free ball. Let him get up, Haven.
Haven Isaac will await her team getting forward as she hits that forward. Bodies bouncing into each other. Buckowitz was unable to make an adjustment. Well, 3 first-half shots for Young Harris, and perhaps their best opportunity came in the 21st minute when Ellerby broke free of a couple defenders and right around the top of the chalk of the 18-yard box, sailed one wide left. It's good work here by the midfield of Henry. A ricocheting bounce to Brunis. Brunis, a lot of purple jerseys around, eventually won it. She stays onside after the initial contact. Gives chase. And it is a throw for Carson-Newman. MJ Park will take this throw. Park tosses it in. Henry flings it along. Ellerby clears to midfield. Young Harris doing so much defending now. And you wonder for Carson-Newman, will that ambitiousness to get forward eventually come back to cause a mistake? Park with the interception. Ellerby. Henry taken down, wanted a foul, didn't get the whistle.
Move the ball, Haven.
72nd minute. Carson-Newman 1. Young Harris 0. There's only been one such final In the first 5 meetings between these clubs that finished 1-0, that was back in 2014. Carson-Newman coming out on top by a 1-0 tally. Otherwise, typically you can count on a couple goals. Good combination play. Bingson has it come back and hit her in the body. And it is a corner. Eagles winning another one. A lot of pressure by this Carson-Newman attack. They've been dangerous on these corners in the second half as well. Here's this ball, much better service into the box. It eventually finds Felicia Frick, but unable to get a lot on it. Alicia Heiniger was also leaping into the air, trying to win the header.
Win the seconds, pick it up. Control it. Gotta win.
Yenta Cooper unable to latch onto it. Savannah Fields is able to get there in time, but it will be a corner kick coming up for Young Harris.
Let's go. Win our battles here.
After spending a great deal of time defending in the last 15 minutes, it leads to an opportunity here. As we wind to the 74th minute, Alicia Mulvaney, the junior from England, is ready to hit this ball. All but 2 players forward for Young Harris, down by a goal. Mulvaney readies. Hits it very low. It does take a redirect as it came to the first person through in Boehner. And instead it goes out wide for a throw-in for Carson-Newman. MJ Park will toss it in. Well, if you're Young Harris and you'd waited all that time to get a chance, would have liked to at least taken a shot there. No foul given. Middle of the park. An interception. Henry trying to spin around, can't get to the ball. And now Young Harris taking their chance, but Jermis will wait on it. And now throw it forward for Fields. Eagles still looking to attack. Hoping for a second. Henry. High arcing ball. Brunis. Good initial touch. Nellie Brunis slots it home. Carson-Newman gets a second, and it is the first time this season Carson-Newman has scored multiple goals. The margin swells to 2-0. After knocking and knocking on the door, finally, the Eagles put it away. Henry's great pass, an assist for Addie Henry, and it is a goal for Nellie Brunis. She had the lone goal for the team entering this matchup. And Brunis gets her second of the season, and the team's second of the match. And the margin swells to 2-0. Fine service from Henry. It was a great touch by Brunis and an alert finish. Carson-Newman ready with substitutions as well. Mick Kriebel and St. Martinson come into the match. Addie Henry and Nellie Brunis will take breathers with a quarter hour to go. Well, that makes it a decisive second half. 5 goals allowed this season by Young Harris. All have come in the second half. And with less than a quarter hour left here at Harvey Stadium, the hill for Young Harris even bigger to climb now. For our entire crew, I'm Michael Watchring watching this one with you. Hope you're enjoying this coverage. We'll have it for you all year long here on the Eagle Sports Network. Bingson getting her first goal of the season and career in the 53rd minute. One would think there will be more to come from her. Well, can Carson-Newman maintain this clean sheet? That perhaps the lone box left to check. Great hustle by Martinson to get to it. Kriebel taking on a defender. Mick Kriebel to the top. Martinson takes the touch. Can't hold on to it long enough. It is spiked away. And Molly Zander will come into the match, replacing Selena Judd. Molly Zander was an attacking force in the opening 45 minutes. Couple good chances for her. MJ Park will find some clean grass to throw this ball in. Martinson waits. Martinson looking to get through a defender. Trying to do it by herself. Cleared away by the Mountain Lions. Ellerby lifts it along. MJ Park, good bit of defending. And now we will get a stoppage in play here after bodies collide along the sideline. A foul was whistled on Carson-Newman. We've had one booking so far. Kriebel, who just came onto the field. We'll get a conversation with our official, Luis Brenes. And it will not be a booking here. Instead, just a stern warning. 77th minute. Park couldn't hold on to possession. Ellerby the target of this pass, and she will not get to it in time. Fine defending there. Alicia Heiniger, native of Switzerland. That's a diverse unit for Carson-Newman. Players from the United States, players from Europe. Some good experience mixed with the youth movement. Bingson lifts it along. Buckowitz making the run. Buckowitz leaves. It is redirected home. Martinson puts it in the net. Eagles have scored 3 times in the home opener, and it's a 3-0 advantage for Simon Duffy's crew. The Mars Hill transfer. Martinson making an impact. Buckowitz gets the assist. All 3 Carson-Newman goals in this match have featured helpers. And a 3-0 advantage. Well, sometimes when it rains, it pours. And after missing chances for about a 15-minute stretch that certainly looked like they could have been goals, and holding on to just a 1-0 advantage, Carson-Newman has now scored twice in the last 3 minutes. Here's a lofting ball in, looking for Martinson once more. Park. Nifty move around a defender. Kriebel. Kriebel charging to the touchline. She gets taken out. And let's see, it is a foul. I believe it'll be outside of the 18. And it will set up Carson-Newman with a set piece in a dangerous spot. It's a very tough angle to get something up and in for an attack here. But it is just outside of the 18-yard box. And for right now, Maya Bingson will get her chance to perhaps add to the tally. Everybody's on the back post right now. Bingson punches it, middle of the box. It takes a ricochet. It is loose. Yet to Cooper. Shreds the strings off of a restart. Carson-Newman has scored for the third time in 5 minutes. 4-0 Eagles. Carson-Newman has scored 3 times in the last 5 minutes. And things are exploding here at McCowan Field. 4 goals in the match. And that is a sight for sore eyes this season. Simon Duffy said the team needs to score more. Plenty of chances. The chances created have been extremely high. And if there was the mathematics to add up the expected goals tally that is used at the professional levels, you know that it would have been high for Carson-Newman entering this match. There's no need for the advanced metrics here today. There have been boatloads of chances and boatloads of goals. 4 different Eagles have scored. And they have opened up a 4-0 advantage. Well, 4 goals would seem satisfactory at this point if you're Carson-Newman. You do want the clean sheet, though. Goal kick coming here. Mulvaney carried it all the way to the touchline. Selena Judd is coming back onto the field. And it will be Bingson who opened the door. As what would stand as the game winner right now. Under 9 minutes to play. Well, while 4 goals might be satisfactory to an onlooker, certainly the players on the pitch would like to add more and continue along on this attacking day. Bukowitz will wait. Holds up the ball, was waiting for an overlapping run, didn't get it wide enough. And a throw in coming for the Eagles. It has been a dominant second half for Carson-Newman, as Young Harris has gone nearly 30 minutes without a shot attempt. And Simon Duffy's unit in the home opener on its way to winning a home opener for the first time since 2019. Carson-Newman 2-0 at home against Young Harris, a 3-1 win and a 1-0 win. And a decisive decision being had right now. More changes coming. Both coaches utilizing everybody that they have. Foost is coming back in. We see the first of Alana Corbett, the freshman from Bearden High School in Knoxville. Bukowitz and Heiniger will come off of the field. And it's a good day when not just the attackers get into the scoring column, but the midfield as well. And expanding upon that, assists from all over the park. Reserve scoring. Martinson, Cooper, who did not start this match, has scored. That ball headed back in the wrong direction. MJ Park looking to attack it. Cooper will head it. Well, in this early portion of the year, Carson-Newman needed a performance like this to ensure that everything was on point with Nova Southeastern coming to town this weekend on Saturday as this ball go all the way through and go out for a goal kick. When you look back at last season, you look back at some of those region rankings that became something to keep an eye on. You can't allow too many games to get out of your reach early, because those games could come back to haunt you at the end of the season. And the Eagles probably had to have a win today to keep pace with the rest of the region here in the early portions of the year, but more importantly, have a good showing. This cross gets banged right back to Voost. Molly Zander trying to get through a couple defenders. Does very well to hold it up. Voost leaves it back. Judd can't get enough on it to get it out wide towards Kriebel. But Kriebel says that doesn't matter. I'm going to take it for myself. And a foul is whistled on Maya Kramer. 4 goals in this one. 86th minute. Felicia Frick ready to hit this ball. Frick into the box. Runners are making their way to the top of the 6, but it is intercepted. Spivey holds it up. Bodies collide, and Judd taking out a defender. And how about that physicality? And that could certainly warrant more than just a stoppage in time. Tess Preston getting ultra aggressive after 2 players bounced into her. And let's see what the decision will be here. Luis Brenes will have a conversation with his assistant referee. Well, certainly a foul on Carson-Newman. Free kick for Young Harris. But after players got tangled up, Preston aggressive. She rose to her feet. Well, no decision has been made yet on whether or not this will be a card or not. And to me, if you're taking this long to make a decision, perhaps you're overthinking it. And now a walk over towards Preston. And he is having a word with Preston as well, and it will be a yellow card. Second one on Young Harris in this matchup. And it comes here in the 86th minute. An update from the Mountain. Young Harris has scored in the 87th minute. And after Carson-Newman had fell down a man, it eventually comes back to hurt the Eagles, and they trail at 1-0 after winning the first 2 matches of the year, including that wild one on Sunday. Trailing 2-0 early and then scoring 4 goals in the second half, or at the end of the first half. Well, about 4 more minutes to go. A long stoppage here after the card. There are a couple subs waiting for Young Harris with about 4 minutes to go as the Mountain Lions look to salvage something. And Avram Allen getting an explanation from Luis Brenes. And I don't think that he enjoys the explanation either. There's still a conversation going on here. Now with 4 minutes to go, you can wrap up these chats after the match. And of course, some frustration setting in for young Harris. Played well for about 50 minutes. And even after giving up the goal, played well for almost 70 minutes, but then a trio of goals in a 5-minute frame has flipped this game on its head. Fields clears off of the free kick. Game management key now for Carson-Newman. Shoe clock. Hold on to some possession if you can win it. Sané Martinson, who has a goal in this one, was providing the pressure. This ball flung forward, Ellerby. Push for it, there's a hard foul. And that could be a second yellow, and indeed it will be. Preston will get a second yellow, and that'll be a red as well. And with 3:26 to go, that'll be the end of the day for Preston. So Preston, a second yellow. Give her a red card. 3:26, 11 v 10. That's a tough one to stomach there for Preston. It certainly was a hard foul. And now a yellow card has been shown to Avram Allen. And he will not be happy with that call either. Allen's just coming out to protect his player. Make sure nothing else happens. And probably a dejected Preston. Just trying to bring the young freshman from Social Circle, Georgia, off the field. And now with Carson-Newman with a player advantage. Should be able to see this one out with a good chunk of possession. A lot of ground to cover now for the Mountain Lions. Voos does well. Was looking for Martinson. Redirects all the way back to Isaac. Well, with one extra player out there in the field for Carson-Newman, should be able to win a lot of these balls. Well, no foul was whistled. Instead, Cooper gives it away. Mulvaney. Judd has been beaten around a little bit here in the last few moments. Eagles will play this one all the way down the field. Watch this ball go near the touchline. Judd. That's a good pass to the middle. Kriebel. Right back for Judd. Wants to give it back to Kriebel. Good give and go. Kriebel across the box. Voost with it. Karina Voost. Off the side of the cage. Addie Henry is going to replace Judd. Makes sense. I don't want to get Judd any more banged up than she already is. Young Harris makes a couple changes as well. 2 more minutes to go with Carson-Newman holding a player advantage. Molly Zander. Well, I mentioned the optimism for Avram Allen. He said the wins will come and knows that his team is pushing in the right direction. 3 straight South Atlantic Conference teams to open the year, and there was a shot from Henry and an uncomfortable save by Isaac. And a corner kick coming up for Carson-Newman with less than 90 seconds to play. Is there a 5th? Voost will head over to the corner flag to take it as we near a minute to go. Boost hits it. And it is headed out. Kriebel touches it down.
1 minute remaining.
And now we get a stoppage here and a card to Yenta Cooper. So Carson-Newman will get its first card here in the 90th minute. So Cooper picks up the yellow card.
Manage the game. ACU step, ACU step.
56 seconds to go. Addie Henry. Well, Carson-Newman seems as if it thinks that they can add another to the tally. It'll be a decisive win. And the goal set forth by Simon Duffy will be checked. Half a minute to go. Cooper will be called for a foul. 20 seconds left. Carson-Newman with another delightful performance at home. It'll be a 7th consecutive home victory. One of the longest in the country at 10 seconds left.
10, 9, 8, 7.
6 seconds to go.
5,
Voos
4,
making the run.
3,
Will not
2,
matter.
1.
The clock will hit 0, and Carson-Newman has won at home for the 7th consecutive time. And the Eagles get their first victory of the year. The final score, Carson-Newman 4, Young Harris 0. Goals from Bingson, Brunis, Martinson, and Cooper provide the difference for Simon Duffy's group on the home pitch. And Carson-Newman into the win column for the first time in 2022. Eagles will be back in action on Saturday, a 5 p.m. kickoff. Nova Southeastern will be in town to challenge Carson-Newman in that match. And we'll have the coverage for you right here on the Eagles Sports Network. For our entire crew tonight watching this one, I'm Michael Watrang as Carson-Newman wins it 4-0. Thanks for tuning into this broadcast. We'll have much more for you this weekend when the Eagles take on Nova Southeastern on Saturday at 5 o'clock. The final score once more, 4-0. Carson-Newman upends Young Harris and wins a 7th consecutive home match. I'm Michael Watrang signing off. Good night, everybody.